Greetings, dear dreamers. Tonight, we embark on a mystical journey to the village of Bramblewood, a place nestled between rolling green hills and dense, whispering forests. As the moon rises high, casting its gentle glow, the village transforms into a realm of magic and mystery. Close your eyes and imagine the cobblestone streets shimmering under the silver moonlight. Picture the market that appears only on nights of the full moon. Its stalls adorned with rich fabrics and twinkling lanterns. The air is filled with the scent of exotic spices and sweet blooms, inviting you to explore. In this enchanting setting, we meet Lily, a young woman with a heart full of curiosity and a spirit yearning for adventure. Tonight, her path leads her to a crystal rose and a map to a hidden garden of magic. Let her journey guide you into a peaceful slumber where dreams of wonder and beauty await. As you listen to her tale, let the soothing imagery of Bramblewood envelop you, bringing calm and serenity. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to be transported to a world where anything is possible, and every step is filled with enchantment. Now, drift gently into the story, and let the magic of Bramblewood and the crystal rose carry you into a restful and enchanting sleep. Chapter 1: The Discovery of the Crystal Rose. The village of Bramblewood lay nestled between rolling green hills and dense, whispering forests. It was a place where magic was still believed to linger in the shadows, and legends were told around the hearths on cold winter nights. But the most intriguing tale was of the mysterious market that appeared only on nights of the full moon. This market was said to offer the rarest of treasures and secrets beyond imagination. On one such moonlit night, Lily, a young woman with a heart full of curiosity and a spirit of adventure, decided to visit the market. The sky was clear, and the moon bathed the cobblestone streets in a silver glow. As she walked through the village square, she could see the flickering lights of the market stalls in the distance, like a cluster of fireflies beckoning her closer. The market was a wonder to behold. Stalls draped in rich fabrics and adorned with shimmering lanterns lined the narrow paths. The air was thick with the scent of exotic spices, sweet fruits, and blooming flowers. Merchants from lands far and wide called out, their voices mingling in a melodic hum, each trying to outdo the other with tales of their wares. Lily wandered from stall to stall, marveling at the array of strange and beautiful items. There were gleaming trinkets, intricate jewelry, and potions that promised everything from eternal youth to endless dreams. Despite the myriad of attractions, Lily felt drawn to a corner of the market where an old, weathered stall stood, almost hidden in the shadows. An ancient merchant with twinkling eyes and a long silver beard sat behind the stall. His eyes seemed to hold the wisdom of centuries, and as Lily approached, he greeted her with a knowing smile. "Welcome, young traveller. he said in a voice that was both gentle and commanding. "What brings you to my humble stall on this magical night?" Lily, feeling a strange connection to the old man, replied, "I'm not sure. I just felt drawn here." The merchant nodded as if he had expected her answer. "I have something special for you," he said, reaching under the counter and pulling out a small, intricately carved box. He opened it to reveal a rose made entirely of crystal, its petals glistening with an ethereal light that seemed to pulse with its own heartbeat. Lily gasped at the sight. "It's beautiful," she whispered, unable to take her eyes off the rose. The merchant's eyes sparkled with amusement. "This is no ordinary rose," he said. "It holds the key to a hidden garden of magic, a place that exists beyond the boundaries of our world. Few have seen it, and even fewer have returned to tell the tale. The garden is said to be a place of great beauty and wonder, where the very air is infused with enchantment." Lily's heart raced with excitement. She had always dreamt of discovering something extraordinary, something beyond the mundane life of the village. "How do I find this garden?" she asked eagerly. The merchant handed her the crystal rose and a worn parchment map. "Follow the path marked on this map," he instructed. "The rose will guide you when the time is right. Trust in its light, and it will lead you to the garden. But remember, the journey will not be easy. You must have courage and faith." Lily took the rose and the map, feeling a sense of destiny unfolding before her. As she thanked the merchant and turned to leave, he called after her, "Good luck, brave one. May the magic of the rose be with you." With the crystal rose in her hand and the map tucked safely in her satchel, Lily stepped back into the bustling market. The moon had climbed higher in the sky, casting a silvery path through the village and beyond. She knew that her life was about to change in ways she could scarcely imagine. And with a heart full of anticipation, she set off towards the unknown. As the moonlight guided her steps through the market, Lily found herself clutching the crystal rose tightly, its cool surface reassuring against her palm. The market was starting to wind down, merchants packing away their treasures and lanterns dimming one by one. But the ancient merchant's stall remained brightly lit, a beacon in the dimming night. She felt a pull to return to the old merchant and learn more about the rose and the hidden garden. As she approached, he greeted her with the same knowing smile, as if he had been expecting her return. "You have questions," he said, his eyes twinkling like stars. Lily nodded. "I do. You mentioned a hidden garden of magic. Can you tell me more about it?" The merchant leaned back in his chair, stroking his silver beard thoughtfully. "The garden is a place of legend," he began. "Long ago, it was created by the ancient ones, beings of immense power and wisdom who wove magic into the very fabric of the land. They crafted the garden as a sanctuary, a place where the essence of nature and magic could thrive in harmony." He gestured to the crystal rose in Lily's hand, The rose is a key, a guide to this garden. It chooses its bearer, one whose heart is pure and whose spirit is unyielding. The path to the garden is fraught with challenges, but those who persevere are rewarded with the garden's endless wonders. Lily listened, captivated by the merchant's words. Why was the garden hidden? She asked. The merchant's expression grew somber. There were those who sought to exploit its magic for their own gain, to use its power for darkness and greed. To protect the garden, the ancient ones concealed it from the world, leaving behind only a few keys to its entrance. The crystal rose is one of those keys. He paused, looking deeply into Lily's eyes. You have been chosen, Lily. The rose has found you because it believes you are worthy. But the journey will test you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Are you prepared for such a quest? Lily's heart swelled with determination. I am, she said with quiet resolve. I've always felt that I was meant for something more than the ordinary life here in Bramblewood. I want to discover the magic of this garden and protect it. The merchant smiled, his face softening. Then your journey begins now. Follow the map and trust in the rose's light. It will guide you when all seems lost. Remember, the garden's magic is not just in its beauty, but in the lessons it will teach you along the way. With those words echoing in her mind, Lily bid the merchant farewell and left the market, the map and the rose safely in her possession. She felt a sense of destiny enveloping her, each step taking her closer to the adventure of a lifetime. The first light of dawn touched the sky as Lily reached the edge of the village. She took a deep breath, filled with anticipation and a hint of trepidation. Holding the crystal rose up to the light, she watched as it glowed faintly, casting a soft, enchanting radiance. As she set off on the path indicated by the map, she couldn't help but glance back at the village one last time. Bramblewood, with its familiar faces and cozy routines, seemed to fade into the distance. Ahead of her lay the unknown, a world of magic and mystery waiting to be discovered. Lily's journey had begun. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, Lily embarked on her journey. She walked through the outskirts of Bramblewood, following the map's winding path. Her excitement grew with each step, tempered by the realization that she was venturing into the unknown. The crystal rose glowed softly, a comforting presence in her hand. The path led her through meadows blanketed with wildflowers, their petals glistening with morning dew. Birds sang in the trees, their melodies weaving a tapestry of sound that seemed to herald her arrival. She felt as if nature itself was welcoming her into its embrace. Hours passed, and the landscape began to change. The meadows gave way to rolling hills, and the air grew cooler. The path grew steeper, winding through a dense forest that seemed to whisper secrets as she walked. Ancient trees towered above her, their branches forming a canopy that filtered the sunlight into dappled patterns on the forest floor. Lily paused to consult the map. The markings indicated that she was nearing a crucial point in her journey. She looked around, searching for any sign that might guide her further. As she did, the crystal rose in her hand began to glow more brightly, casting a gentle, ethereal light. Intrigued, she followed the rose's glow, which seemed to pulse with an inner life. It led her off the beaten path, deeper into the forest where the trees grew even thicker and the shadows deeper. Despite the eerie atmosphere, she felt a sense of calm and purpose. Eventually, she came upon a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a weathered stone pedestal covered in moss and vines. On top of the pedestal rested a delicate wooden box, intricately carved with symbols that seemed to shift and change when she looked at them. The crystal rose's light intensified, illuminating the box with a radiant glow. With trembling hands, Lily reached out and lifted the box's lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of velvet, was another crystal rose, identical to the one she held. It sparkled with the same ethereal light, but there was something different about it. An aura of ancient magic that seemed to resonate with her very soul. As she gazed at the rose, a vision filled her mind. She saw a magnificent garden, bathed in golden light, where flowers sang and trees whispered ancient secrets. It was a place of boundless beauty and tranquility, where magic flowed like a gentle stream. The vision was so vivid that she could almost feel the soft grass beneath her feet and hear the melody of the garden's enchantment. The vision faded, leaving her breathless and awestruck. She knew deep within her heart that this was the hidden garden the merchant had spoken of. The crystal rose was not just a key, but a guide and protector on her journey. Determined to find this magical place, Lily carefully placed the new rose in her satchel alongside the first. As she did, the two roses seemed to hum in unison, their lights intertwining in a dance of harmony. With renewed resolve, she stepped back onto the path. The vision of the hidden garden etched into her memory. The journey ahead was uncertain, but she felt a deep sense of purpose guiding her steps. The ancient forest seemed less daunting now, its whispers more like a welcoming chorus. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Lily continued her journey, her heart filled with anticipation and wonder. The hidden garden awaited her, and with each step, she drew closer to the magic and mystery that lay beyond. Lily's heart raced with the thrill of adventure as she continued her journey through the forest. The two crystal roses in her satchel hummed softly, their combined light casting a warm golden glow. The path ahead, though winding and shadowed, felt more inviting with the rose's comforting presence. The forest was a world unto itself, filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. Lily's senses were heightened, every detail coming alive around her. She walked with purpose, following the map's markings and trusting in the guidance of the roses. Each step brought her deeper into the heart of the forest, where ancient trees loomed like silent guardians. As she ventured further, she noticed subtle changes in the environment. The air grew cooler and more fragrant, filled with the scent of pine and earth. Sunlight filtered through the canopy in shafts of golden light, illuminating patches of vibrant moss and delicate ferns. It was a place of serene beauty, and Lily felt a deep sense of connection to the natural world around her. The map indicated that she would soon reach a landmark known as the Whispering Stones. These ancient stones were said to hold the echoes of the forest's wisdom, guiding travelers who sought their counsel. Eager to find this mystical site, Lily quickened her pace, her heart beating in time with the rose's hum. After a time, she emerged into a small clearing where a circle of tall, weathered stones stood. Each stone was covered in intricate carvings that seemed to shimmer with a life of their own. Lily approached the stones reverently, feeling their ancient energy pulse through the ground beneath her feet. She placed her hands on one of the stones, closing her eyes and listening to the forest's whispers. A soft breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it the faintest sound of voices, as if the stones were speaking to her. The words were indistinct, but they filled her with a sense of peace and guidance. As she stood there, absorbing the stone's wisdom, the crystal roses in her satchel began to glow more brightly. Their light seemed to merge with the stone's carvings, creating a radiant tapestry of illumination. The path ahead became clearer in her mind, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose. With a grateful heart, Lily thanked the stones for their guidance and continued on her way. The forest seemed to embrace her, each step taking her closer to the enchanted garden. She moved with confidence, her spirit buoyed by the knowledge that she was on the right path. The day wore on, and as the sun began its descent, the forest grew darker. But Lily did not falter. The rose's light grew stronger, casting a warm glow that dispelled the shadows. She felt a sense of companionship with the roses, as if they were living beings guiding and protecting her. As night fell, she found a sheltered spot beneath a large oak tree and decided to rest. She laid out a small blanket, and the rose's glow illuminated the area around her, creating a cozy, magical atmosphere. She ate a simple meal from her provisions, and then lay back, gazing up at the stars peeking through the canopy. Her thoughts drifted to the hidden garden and the wonders it promised. She imagined the flowers that sang and the trees that whispered secrets, the magical creatures that dwelled there, and the peace that would envelop her. The vision filled her with a deep sense of longing and purpose. As she closed her eyes, the rose's soft hum lulled her into a restful sleep. Her dreams were filled with images of the garden, vibrant and alive, waiting for her arrival. She felt the garden's magic reaching out to her, a promise of beauty and enchantment. When she awoke at dawn, she felt refreshed and ready to continue her journey. The rose's light greeted her like old friends, their glow guiding her steps once more. With a determined heart and an adventurous spirit, Lily set off, knowing that each step brought her closer to the hidden garden and the magic it held. Lily's journey led her deeper into the enchanted forest, where the very air seemed to hum with magic. The ancient trees stood like silent sentinels, their leaves whispering secrets in the breeze. Sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting a dappled mosaic on the forest floor. The crystal roses continued to glow softly, guiding her steps with their warm, ethereal light. As she ventured further, Lily noticed subtle changes in the forest. The flora became more vibrant, with flowers of colors she had never seen before. Petals shimmered with an inner light, and delicate vines twisted into intricate patterns. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms, mingling with the earthy aroma of moss and wood. Birdsong accompanied her journey, the melodies rich and complex, as if the birds themselves were enchanted. Occasionally, she caught glimpses of small creatures darting through the underbrush, tiny, elusive beings that vanished the moment she tried to focus on them. She felt a sense of wonder and connection to the world around her, as if she were part of a grand magical tapestry. The path ahead led to a clearing where a crystal clear stream flowed gently over smooth stones. The water sparkled in the sunlight, reflecting the myriad colors of the flowers along its banks. Lily knelt by the stream, cupping her hands to drink the cool, refreshing water. As she did, she noticed a curious phenomenon. The stream seemed to sing, its babbling harmonizing with the birdsong in a delicate symphony. After resting for a while, Lily continued her journey, crossing the stream and following the rose's glow. The forest grew denser, the trees towering above her like ancient guardians. Their branches intertwined, creating a natural archway that seemed to welcome her into a deeper realm of enchantment. The path grew narrower, winding through thick underbrush and around massive tree trunks. The light grew dimmer, and shadows danced in the corners of her vision. Yet, the rose's light remained steady, a beacon guiding her through the darkness. She felt a sense of anticipation, knowing she was drawing closer to the heart of the forest. As she walked, she heard a rustling in the bushes ahead. Her heart quickened, and she slowed her pace, peering into the undergrowth. To her surprise, a small group of forest creatures emerged. A family of deer, their coats dappled with sunlight. They gazed at her with wide, gentle eyes, and she felt an instant connection with these peaceful beings. One of the deer, a fawn with a silvery coat, stepped forward and nuzzled her hand. Lily smiled, feeling a deep sense of harmony with the creatures. It was as if the forest itself had accepted her presence, recognizing her as a friend and ally. The deer moved gracefully into the forest, and Lily continued on her path. The air grew cooler, and she felt a tingling sensation in her skin, as if the magic of the forest was becoming more potent. She sensed that she was nearing a place of great power and beauty. The path led her to a grove where the trees formed a perfect circle around a small shimmering pond. The water was so clear that she could see the pebbles on the bottom, each one glowing with a soft inner light. The pond seemed to pulse with energy, and she knew this was a place of significance. Lily knelt by the pond, feeling a profound sense of peace and connection. The crystal roses in her satchel glowed brightly, their light merging with the pond's radiance. She closed her eyes, letting the magic of the place wash over her, filling her with a deep sense of purpose. As she opened her eyes, she noticed something remarkable. The surface of the pond began to ripple, and an image formed within the water. She saw a vision of the hidden garden, more vivid and beautiful than before. The flowers glowed with an inner light, and the trees seemed to sing in harmony with the breeze. It was a place of unparalleled beauty and magic, and she knew she was on the right path. With renewed determination, Lily rose and continued her journey. The forest seemed to part before her, the path becoming clearer and more inviting. She felt a sense of destiny guiding her steps, knowing that each moment brought her closer to the hidden garden and the wonders it held. As the twilight deepened, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Lily pressed on, guided by the unwavering glow of the crystal roses. The forest seemed to grow more alive with each passing moment, the air thick with magic and the promise of discovery. The path wound through groves of ancient trees whose leaves whispered secrets, urging her forward. The rose's light grew stronger, casting a warm golden glow that illuminated her way. It felt as though the roses were guiding her towards a destination, a place of great significance. Lily's heart beat with a mixture of excitement and anticipation. She knew she was drawing closer to the hidden garden, the magical sanctuary she had dreamed of. The forest began to thin, and the path led her to a rocky outcrop. She climbed the gentle slope, her steps light and sure. As she reached the top, she was greeted by a breathtaking sight. Below her lay a hidden valley, bathed in the soft glow of twilight. In the center of the valley, surrounded by lush greenery and vibrant flowers, was a shimmering lake. The lake's surface was like glass, reflecting the sky and the surrounding landscape with perfect clarity. It seemed to pulse with a gentle inner light, as if the very water was infused with magic. Lily felt a deep sense of awe and wonder as she gazed upon the scene. She knew instinctively that this was the entrance to the hidden garden. The roses in her satchel glowed brighter, their light merging with the lake's radiance. She felt a gentle pull, urging her to descend into the valley. With a heart full of determination, she made her way down the slope, her footsteps light and sure. The air grew warmer, filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the sweet, earthy aroma of the forest. As she approached the lake, she noticed a narrow stone bridge that spanned its width. The bridge was ancient, its stones weathered and covered in moss, yet it seemed to exude a quiet strength and resilience. The rose's glow illuminated the path ahead, casting a warm light on the bridge. Lily stepped onto the bridge, feeling a sense of reverence. She walked slowly, savoring the moment, her eyes fixed on the far shore. As she reached the midpoint of the bridge, the rose's light grew even more intense, filling the air with a golden glow. She paused, looking down at the lake's surface. To her amazement, the water began to ripple, and an image formed within its depths. She saw the hidden garden, more vivid and beautiful than ever before. The flowers glowed with an inner light, and the trees whispered secrets in a language she could almost understand. The garden seemed to beckon to her, inviting her to enter its magical embrace. With renewed determination, Lily continued across the bridge. As she stepped onto the far shore, the rose's light illuminated a hidden path that wound through a grove of ancient, towering trees. The air was thick with magic, and she felt a sense of destiny guiding her steps. The path led her to a grand, wrought iron gate, entwined with vines and flowers that seemed to pulse with life. The gate stood slightly ajar, as if welcoming her to enter. She took a deep breath, her heart pounding with excitement and anticipation. She knew that beyond this gate lay the hidden garden, the magical sanctuary she had longed to find. With a steady hand, she pushed the gate open and stepped through. The sight that greeted her took her breath away. The garden was a place of unparalleled beauty and enchantment, filled with vibrant flowers, singing trees, and shimmering streams. The air was alive with the hum of magic, and she felt a deep sense of peace and belonging. The crystal roses in her satchel glowed brightly, their light merging with the garden's radiance. She knew that her journey had led her to this magical place, a sanctuary of beauty. Chapter 2: The Hidden Garden of Magic. Lily stood at the entrance of the hidden garden, her heart swelling with wonder and joy. The air was thick with enchantment, and the vibrant energy of the place enveloped her in a warm embrace. She knew that her journey was far from over, and that the garden held many secrets yet to be uncovered. As she ventured deeper into the garden, she marveled at the beauty surrounding her. Flowers of every color imaginable bloomed in abundance, their petals shimmering with an inner light. Trees with golden bark and emerald leaves towered above, their branches whispering in a language she could almost understand. Streams of crystal clear water wound their way through the landscape, their gentle babbling harmonizing with the birdsong. The crystal roses in her satchel continued to glow, their light guiding her along a hidden path. She followed the roses' glow, feeling a sense of destiny pulling her forward. The path wound through groves of ancient trees, over small stone bridges, and alongside sparkling ponds. Each step brought her closer to the heart of the garden. As she walked, she noticed that the garden seemed to respond to her presence. Flowers leaned towards her, their petals brushing against her hands as if in greeting. Birds flew down to perch on nearby branches, their eyes bright with curiosity. Even the trees seemed to bow slightly, acknowledging her arrival. After a time, the path led her to a small, secluded glade. In the center of the glade stood a stone pedestal, much like the one she had encountered in the forest. Upon the pedestal rested a large, intricately carved book bound in leather. The book's cover was adorned with symbols that seemed to shift and change when she looked at them. With a sense of reverence, Lily approached the pedestal and opened the book. The pages were filled with elegant, flowing script that glowed with a soft, golden light. She realized that this was a book of ancient knowledge, containing the secrets of the garden and its magic. As she read, the words seemed to come alive, filling her mind with visions and memories of the garden's history. She saw the ancient ones who had created the garden, weaving spells of protection and beauty into its very fabric. She felt their wisdom and power, and she understood the importance of preserving the garden's magic. The book revealed that the garden was not just a place of beauty, but a sanctuary of harmony and balance. Its magic was tied to the natural world, and it required a guardian to protect and nurture it. Lily felt a deep sense of purpose as she read these words. She knew that she had been chosen to be the garden's new guardian, a role she embraced with all her heart. The book also spoke of a hidden path that led to the garden's heart, a place where the magic was strongest. This path could only be found by those who possessed the crystal roses and who had proven themselves worthy. Lily felt a thrill of excitement as she realized that she was on the brink of discovering this secret. Closing the book, she carefully placed it back on the pedestal and turned her attention to the roses. Their light had grown even brighter, casting long shadows in the fading light of the day. She felt a gentle pull, urging her to continue her journey. With a heart full of determination, Lily set off once more, following the rose's glow. The path grew narrower and more winding, leading her through dense thickets and over rocky terrain. The air grew cooler, and she felt the presence of magic all around her, guiding her steps. As she walked, she sensed that she was getting closer to her destination. The rose's light pulsed in time with her heartbeat, filling her with a sense of anticipation. She knew that she was on the verge of uncovering the garden's deepest secrets, and she felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey that had brought her here. The path led her to a grove of ancient trees, their branches intertwined to form a natural archway. The air was thick with magic, and she felt a sense of awe as she stepped through the archway. Before her lay the entrance to the garden's heart, a place of unparalleled beauty and enchantment. Lily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her journey and the promise of the magic that lay ahead. With the crystal roses glowing brightly in her hands, she stepped forward, ready to embrace her destiny as the guardian of the hidden garden. Lily stood before the archway of intertwined branches, her heart pounding with anticipation. She could feel the magic in the air, a tangible force that seemed to welcome her. With a deep breath, she stepped through the archway and into the hidden garden. The sight that greeted her took her breath away. The garden was a paradise of color and light, more beautiful than any vision she had ever imagined. Flowers of every hue carpeted the ground, their petals glowing softly in the twilight. Trees with silver bark and golden leaves swayed gently in the breeze, their branches heavy with fruit that sparkled like gems. In the center of the garden was a large crystalline fountain. Water cascaded from its top in shimmering streams, filling the air with the sound of gentle music. The fountain's base was adorned with intricate carvings of mythical creatures and ancient symbols, and the water itself seemed to glow with an inner light. Lily approached the fountain, feeling a deep sense of peace and wonder. She dipped her hand into the water, which was cool and refreshing. As she did, the crystal roses in her satchel glowed brightly, their light merging with the fountain's radiance. Suddenly, a soft voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, Lily," it said, full of warmth and wisdom. She turned to see a figure emerging from the shadows of a nearby tree. It was an elderly woman with long, flowing silver hair and eyes that sparkled like the stars. She wore a robe of deep green, embroidered with golden leaves and flowers. "Who are you?" Lily asked, her voice filled with awe. "I am Elara, the guardian of this garden," the woman replied with a gentle smile. "I have been waiting for you." Lily felt a sense of recognition, as if she had known Elara all her life. "The crystal roses led me here," she said, holding up the glowing flowers. Elara nodded. "The roses chose you because you have a pure heart and a brave spirit. You are destined to be the garden's new guardian, to protect and nurture its magic." Lily's heart swelled with pride and purpose. "I will do my best," she promised. Elara gestured for Lily to follow her. "Come, there is much to show you." They walked through the garden, Elara explaining its history and secrets. She told Lily about the ancient ones who had created the garden, weaving spells of beauty and harmony into every leaf and flower. She spoke of the magical creatures who lived in the garden, each with their own role in maintaining its balance. As they walked, Lily noticed that the flowers seemed to lean towards Elara, as if drawn to her presence. Birds flew down to perch on her shoulders, and small animals followed at her feet. It was clear that she was deeply connected to the garden and its inhabitants. They reached a small clearing where a circle of stones surrounded a glowing pool of water. "This is the heart of the garden," Elara said. "It is from here that all its magic flows." Lily gazed into the pool, mesmerized by its radiant light. She felt a sense of awe and reverence, knowing that she was standing in a place of great power. Elara placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. "You have been chosen to protect this garden and its magic. It is a great responsibility, but I believe in you. The crystal roses will guide you, and the garden will teach you all you need to know." Lily nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and determination. "I won't let you down," she vowed. Elara smiled. "I know you won't." As the sun set, casting the garden in a warm golden light, Lily felt a profound sense of belonging. She knew that she had found her true purpose, and that the hidden garden was now her home. With Elara's guidance and the crystal rose's light, she would protect and nurture this magical sanctuary, ensuring that its beauty and enchantment would endure for generations to come. In the days that followed, Lily explored the hidden garden with Elara as her guide. Every corner of the garden held new wonders, each more magical than the last. The flowers in particular fascinated her. They were not like any she had seen before. Their petals shimmered with an inner light, and their colors seemed to change with the time of day. One morning, Elara led Lily to a secluded part of the garden where the air was filled with a gentle, melodious hum. "This is the glade of whispering flowers," Elara said, her voice soft with reverence. "Here, the flowers sing the secrets of the garden." Lily's eyes widened in wonder. "They sing?" Elara nodded. "Yes, each flower has its own song, a piece of the garden's ancient wisdom. Listen carefully, and you will hear their stories." Lily walked among the flowers, her steps slow and deliberate. She closed her eyes and let the melodies wash over her. It was as if the flowers were speaking directly to her, their voices blending into a harmonious symphony. She felt a deep connection to the garden, as if she were part of its living essence. One flower in particular caught her attention. Its petals were a brilliant shade of blue, and it seemed to glow with an inner light. She knelt beside it and leaned in to listen. The flower's song was gentle and soothing, like a lullaby. "Long ago," the flower sang, "the garden was created by the ancient ones, beings of great wisdom and power. They wove their magic into the very fabric of the land, creating a sanctuary of beauty and harmony. But they knew that such a place must be protected, and so they entrusted its care to a guardian." The flower's song filled Lily's mind with visions of the past. She saw the ancient ones, their forms shimmering with ethereal light as they worked together to create the garden. She felt their love and dedication, their desire to create a place of peace and beauty. The garden's magic is strong, the flower continued, but it is also delicate. It must be nurtured and protected, for there are those who would seek to exploit its power. The guardian's task is to ensure that the garden remains a sanctuary, a place where magic and nature can thrive in harmony. Lily felt a deep sense of responsibility. She knew that she had been chosen to continue the work of the ancient ones, to protect and nurture the garden's magic. She vowed to do everything in her power to fulfill this sacred duty. As she rose to her feet, Elara approached her, a gentle smile on her face. "The flowers have shared their wisdom with you," she said. "You are now a part of the garden story, its protector and guardian." Lily nodded, her heart full of gratitude. "I will do my best to honor the garden and its magic," she promised. Elara placed a hand on her shoulder. "I know you will. The garden chose you for a reason, and you have already shown great courage and dedication. The path ahead will not always be easy, but you are not alone. The garden will guide you, and I will be here to help you every step of the way." Together, they continued to explore the garden, the flowers' songs echoing in their hearts. Lily felt a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing that she had found her true purpose. The hidden garden was not just a place of beauty and magic. It was a living, breathing entity, a testament to the power of harmony and balance. As the days turned into weeks, Lily learned more about the garden and its inhabitants. She discovered that each flower, tree, and creature had its own unique role in maintaining the garden's delicate balance. The more she learned, the more she realized how interconnected everything was, and how important it was to protect this magical sanctuary. With Elara's guidance and the crystal rose's light, Lily embraced her role as the guardian of the hidden garden. She knew that her journey was just beginning, and that many challenges lay ahead. But she also knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be, and that the magic of the garden would always be a part of her. Lily's days in the hidden garden were filled with wonder and discovery. With Elara as her guide, she continued to explore the garden's many secrets. One morning, Elara led her to a lush meadow where the grass was soft and emerald green, and the air was filled with the scent of blooming wildflowers. "This is the meadow of magical creatures," Elara said, her eyes twinkling with excitement. "Here, you will meet some of the garden's most enchanting inhabitants." As if on cue, a group of creatures emerged from the tall grass. They were unlike anything Lily had ever seen. Tiny winged beings with iridescent wings flitted about, their laughter like the tinkling of bells. They were the fairies of the garden, each one unique in colour and pattern. One fairy with lavender wings and a crown of daisies flew up to Lily and hovered in front of her face. "Welcome, guardian," the fairy said in a voice as delicate as a breeze. "I am Leora. We have been waiting for you." Lily smiled, her heart warming at the sight of the tiny fairy. "Thank you, Leora. It is an honor to meet you all." Leora gestured for Lily to follow, leading her deeper into the meadow. There, she saw unicorns grazing peacefully, their silvery manes flowing like rivers of light. One of the unicorns, a majestic creature with a golden horn, approached Lily and nuzzled her hand. She felt a deep sense of connection with the unicorn, as if it could sense her thoughts and emotions. "This is Starfire," Elara said. "He is the leader of the unicorns and a guardian of the meadow. He will be your friend and ally in the days to come." Starfire's eyes met Lily's, and she felt a wave of warmth and reassurance wash over her. "I am honored, Starfire," she said, stroking the unicorn's soft mane. As they continued to explore, Lily encountered other magical creatures as well. There were nymphs who danced gracefully among the flowers, their laughter mingling with the song of the birds. Dryads, the spirits of the trees, watched over the forest with gentle eyes, their presence a testament to the ancient magic that flowed through the garden. Each creature had its own role in maintaining the balance and harmony of the garden. The fairies tended to the flowers, ensuring they bloomed with vibrant colours. The unicorns protected the meadow, their magic keeping it safe from harm. The nymphs and dryads worked together to nurture the trees and plants, their magic woven into the very fabric of the garden. Lily felt a deep sense of gratitude and admiration for the creatures. She knew that their magic was essential to the garden's survival, and she vowed to protect them as fiercely as they protected the garden. One afternoon, as Lily sat by a sparkling stream, Leora fluttered down to sit beside her. "There is something I must show you," the fairy said, her eyes serious. Lily followed Leora to a secluded glen, where a large ancient tree stood. Its bark was silver and its leaves shimmered with a golden light. "This is the heart tree," Leora explained. "It is the source of the garden's magic, the anchor that holds everything together." Lily approached the tree, feeling its powerful presence. She placed her hand on its trunk, and a surge of energy coursed through her. She saw visions of the garden's history, of the ancient ones who had created it, and of the guardians who had protected it throughout the ages. "The heart tree is the most important part of the garden," Leora said. "As its guardian, you must ensure its safety. Its magic flows through every flower, every tree, and every creature. If it were to be harmed, the entire garden would suffer." Lily nodded, feeling the weight of her responsibility. "I understand," she said. "I will protect the heart tree with all my strength." Leora smiled, her wings shimmering in the light. "We believe in you, Lily. The garden chose you for a reason. You are its protector, its guardian, and its friend." As the sun set, casting the garden in a golden glow, Lily felt a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the magical creatures by her side and the crystal rose's light guiding her, she felt confident in her ability to protect the hidden garden and ensure its magic would endure for generations to come. With each passing day, Lily felt more at home in the hidden garden. The magic of the place was woven into her very being, and she embraced her role as its guardian with all her heart. Elara had taught her much, but there was still one part of the garden she had yet to fully explore. The heart of the garden, where its magic was strongest. One morning, Elara approached Lily as she tended to a bed of luminescent flowers. "It is time for you to visit the heart tree," she said, her voice filled with quiet reverence. "This tree is the source of the garden's magic, and its well-being is paramount to the garden's survival." Lily nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and solemnity. She had seen the heart tree from a distance, its silver bark and golden leaves glowing like a beacon. Now, she was about to understand its true significance. Elara led Lily through the winding paths of the garden, the crystal roses glowing softly in her satchel. They walked in silence, the air filled with the gentle hum of the garden's magic. As they approached the grove where the heart tree stood, Lily felt a surge of energy, a powerful yet comforting presence. The heart tree was even more magnificent up close. Its trunk was broad and strong, and its bark shimmered with an otherworldly light. The leaves, golden and delicate, rustled softly in the breeze, each one glowing with its own inner light. The roots of the tree spread out in all directions, weaving through the earth like veins of magic. "This tree holds the essence of the garden," Elara said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Its magic flows through every part of this sanctuary, connecting all living things. To protect the garden, you must protect the heart tree." Lily approached the tree with reverence, placing her hand on its trunk. As soon as she touched the bark, a flood of visions filled her mind. She saw the ancient ones, their faces serene and wise, as they wove their magic into the garden. She saw the guardians of the past, each one dedicated to protecting this sacred place. And she saw the garden itself, flourishing and vibrant, a testament to the harmony and balance that the heart tree provided. The visions faded, leaving Lily with a profound sense of purpose. She knew that her role as guardian was not just a duty, but a sacred trust. The heart tree had chosen her, and she was determined to honor that choice. Elara placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. "You have seen the heart tree's memories," she said. "You now understand the depth of your responsibility. But remember, you are not alone. The garden and its inhabitants are with you, and the magic of the crystal roses will guide you." Lily nodded, her heart filled with resolve. "I will protect the heart tree and the garden with all my strength," she vowed. Elara smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "I know you will." As they left the grove, Lily felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that her journey as the garden's guardian was just beginning, but she felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The heart tree's magic flowed through her, giving her the strength and wisdom she needed. The days passed in a blur of activity. Lily worked tirelessly to maintain the balance of the garden, tending to the flowers, trees, and magical creatures. She felt a deep connection to the land and its inhabitants, their well-being intertwined with her own. The crystal roses continued to guide her, their light a constant reminder of her purpose. One evening, as the sun set and the garden was bathed in a golden glow, Lily returned to the heart tree. She sat beneath its branches, feeling the magic flow through her. She thought of the ancient ones and the guardians who had come before her, their legacy now her responsibility. With the heart tree's magic pulsing through her veins, Lily knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be. The hidden garden was her home, its beauty and enchantment a testament to the power of a harmony and balance. As its guardian, she would protect and nurture it, ensuring that its magic would endure for generations to come. As the days turned into weeks, Lily's bond with the hidden garden grew stronger. The crystal roses continued to guide her, their light a constant reminder of her purpose. The garden flourished under her care, its magic thriving in harmony with the natural world. Yet, she knew that her journey as guardian was far from over. There was still one promise she needed to fulfill. One evening, as the sky turned shades of orange and pink, Elara approached Lily by the heart tree. "It is time," she said, her voice gentle but firm. "The crystal roses have one final gift to bestow upon you." Lily looked at Elara with a mixture of curiosity and anticipation. "What must I do?" Elara handed her a small, ornate box. "Place the roses in this box and take them to the center of the garden. There you will find a special place where their true power will be revealed." Lily took the box, feeling its weight and the significance of the task. She carefully placed the 2 crystal roses inside, their light shining through the delicate filigree of the box. With a determined heart, she set off towards the center of the garden. The path led her through familiar groves and meadows, each one glowing with the magic she had come to know and love. As she walked, the garden seemed to come alive around her, the flowers leaning in and the trees whispering their encouragement. She felt their support and knew that she was not alone. At last, she reached a clearing surrounded by tall, ancient trees. In the center of the clearing was a stone pedestal, similar to the one where she had first found the crystal rose. The pedestal was covered in intricate carvings that seemed to pulse with a living energy. Lily approached the pedestal and opened the ornate box. The crystal roses glowed brighter than ever, their light filling the clearing with a radiant glow. She placed the roses on the pedestal and stepped back, waiting for something to happen. The ground beneath her feet began to hum with a deep, resonant energy. The light from the roses intensified, forming a shimmering column that reached towards the sky. The air was filled with the sound of gentle music, and Lily felt a powerful presence enveloping her. A voice, ancient and wise, echoed in her mind. Lily, you have proven yourself worthy as the guardian of this garden. The crystal roses have guided you, and now they will reveal their true purpose. The light from the roses merged into a single brilliant beam that struck the pedestal. The carvings glowed with an inner light, and the stones seemed to come alive. The roses began to change, their petals unfolding and transforming into something new. Before her eyes, the roses became a single, magnificent flower, unlike anything she had ever seen. Its petals were a deep, iridescent blue, and its center glowed with a golden light. The flower pulsed with a powerful magic that resonated with her very soul. This is the promise of the rose, the voice continued. It is a symbol of the garden's magic and your bond with it. As long as this flower blooms, the garden will thrive and its magic will endure. Lily felt tears of joy and gratitude fill her eyes. She knew that this flower was more than just a symbol. It was a living testament to her dedication and love for the garden. She reached out and gently touched the flower, feeling its warmth and energy flow through her. The voice spoke once more. Take this flower and plant it at the base of the heart tree. It will bind your magic with the gardens, ensuring that its beauty and enchantment will be protected for all time. With reverent hands, Lily carefully lifted the flower from the pedestal. Its light surrounded her, filling her with a profound sense of peace and purpose. She made her way back to the heart tree, the flower cradled gently in her arms. Ilara was waiting for her, a proud smile on her face. "You have done well, Lily," she said. "The garden is safe in your hands." Lily knelt at the base of the heart tree and planted the promise of the rose in the rich, fertile soil. As she did, the tree's roots seemed to embrace the flower, its golden leaves shimmering with renewed energy. The flower's light spread through the garden, touching every corner with its magic. Lily stood, feeling the garden's magic flow through her. She knew that she had fulfilled her promise, and that the hidden garden would thrive for generations to come. With the crystal rose's guidance and the promise of the rose, she had found her true purpose as the garden's guardian. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the garden, Lily felt a deep sense of fulfillment and joy. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. With the garden and its magic by her side, she felt confident in her ability to protect and nurture this enchanted sanctuary, ensuring that its beauty and wonder would endure for all time.